Hi guys, my name is Christina and welcome to my channel, and on this channel we'll talk all about comics and I'm sharing everything I've learned after creating my own comic, The Book of Contradictions, for more than 6 years. But we'll also talk about art, how to create art, how to enjoy creating art, and how to do art professionally and earn money with your art. If you're wondering what's this noise, it's my dog crawling under my bed, so that's that. If any of this, what came before the dog notion, is interesting to you, please feel free to engage with the buttons down below. It really helps the channel and I hope channel in turn can help you. In this video I wanted to talk to you about stealing ideas. Is it possible? Should you be worried about it? And just this topic overall. So let's talk about it. I think this video is gonna be a little bit of a shorter side because I have a very decisive answer, very concrete opinion, and I'm gonna share it with you, and it's very simple. First of all, the idea of the fact that ideas are not original, I believe it's true. Like, unless it's some high concept idea of just cowboys but like in space, type of Star Wars. It's like some idea, like the premise or the setting on its own, the idea of that is really unusual and interesting. Then sure, then something like this, yeah, if people steal it and this is like, this concept was the coolest thing about it, that's sad. But overall, all the ideas overall of both stories are not that original, and I feel like idea is not the most valuable thing about your story overall. The point what makes your story good or feel like idea is good is how you executed the idea. And idea, if you overall break out the concept of idea is just a question asked and the answer given to this question. So your story asks a question, or normally a story asks like tons of questions, and the conclusion of the story or how the story progresses give answers to all of these questions. So with that said, it's gonna be so unique to you. It's like writing an essay. It's, imagine you're sitting in the class and you're giving the same topic for the essay. Everybody's gonna write different essays, and even though you can argue, oh, they all have the same idea for their essay, in fact everybody wrote something different, because when you ask the question, how exactly you ask it and what part of the question is more interesting to you. Why people unhappy? Why people unhappy, or why people unhappy? Why people unhappy? Is that happiness is the part? You know, kind of, you can put focus and emphasis on just certain part of the question more than the other, and then your answer obviously is going to be very unique to you, and the way you approach this answer and different stories and, you know, stuff that you're gonna do is gonna be so specific to you and to your story and to your voice that it's just like, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to worry about stealing the idea. Besides, as I said, stories they're like a package of multitude of ideas. Like, stories are typically not just one idea. Stories are usually a lot of ideas, a lot of characters, a lot of themes. There is several of in the story, and usually what makes the story what it is the combination of that and just the whole soup of these ideas, and how much of certain ideas and how much of certain concepts and questions and answers are put in, and how different characters are dealing with their own stuff. And that's what makes it unique, not some certain idea overall. I think if I tell my idea to somebody else, whatever the story they write with this idea is not gonna be my story at all, because like they're not gonna have the same characters, because even for me to explain how my story idea work in the concept of my story gonna take me hours and hours and hours. It's not something that you can accidentally steal. I have to go ahead and explain to you, and I'm gonna explain to you what will happen next. And this is another point, like what will happen next, where the story is going. Like, if, for example, I don't know, that's gonna suck anyway, but like if somebody just steal my story, somehow proves that this is their story, I don't know, I don't even think it's possible. Like, imagine in like weird world, like somebody, you know, hijacked the matrix of reality and said that their story of what it is written right now is theirs. Whatever they write next, even with given what they have, it's gonna be different from what I would write next. And that's what makes me think that ideas, they just cannot be stolen. It's not something that you should be afraid of first, because like, it's just, idea is not the most valuable point of the story at all. And the story is not one idea. The story is so much more. The story is a very complex thing, and stealing one idea will not help you. And it's like, this is the same kind of thing what I'm thinking about spoiling. I actually don't mind spoilers at all. I actually don't care. To me, if the story can be spoiled, if you can say one thing about the story and it alters my experience to the negative, I like stories. I actually like stories that are not about the reveal, that are not about some information, that are not about some concept, about how the story feels, how the story flows, what I feel as I'm getting into the stories. A lot of the stories that I really love, I got spoiled for, and not accidentally. I usually would just go watch videos of other people when they review different other stories. I watch spoilery sections like of this reviews, and if I like the concept of it, if I like kind of like the idea of it, I want to then go and see the whole story and experience it. To me, it's like knowing the idea and experience of the story is two completely different things. Sometimes you experience the story and I don't even care about like thinking what was the main idea. Like obviously I understand what it was, but this is not what stays with me. It's not what my mind is focusing on. So overall, I think the concept of the people stealing your work or stealing your idea is only scary if the idea that of your work can be realized. Very simple. Something like graphic design, when a certain idea of the logo can be stolen, because the whole point of the logo is this idea, you know? For example, you want to have like a rocket umbrella company and your logo is like the folded umbrella that has like the fumes from the rocket going outside, and this like works with the name. I don't know, it's this stupid company, but like for example, and somebody kind of steals this concept of a logo for like not a rocket umbrella company but umbrella rocket company or something like this, and that's like the same stuff. So basically the idea is just that, like there is no more. That is a problem and it's sad, and yes, it can be done, but overall, like for the stories, I think it's just impossible. They're so complex, and there's something you shouldn't be worried about, something that you should protect and get copyrighted for, something that like your name, the name of your story. If you're really sad, like for example my comic, The Book of Contradictions, being the title for the comic by Christina Zaharzhai, is copyrighted. So nobody can go create something and call it the same, like create a comic that's called like my comic. And that's really it, like what can I protect? And honestly, that's really it. I think the idea of stealing ideas and stealing this and being horrible comes from the fact that a lot of big companies, they sue people for, you know, them leaking certain things or revealing certain things, because they're actually losing money on that. It's usually because they have some story that they want to earn certain money on, and a lot of people get disappointed if this exact concept is already taken. They're very exact, so for the market can also have like certain things at the same time. If you have this crazy epic space opera and somebody else heard that you're doing space, like epic space opera, and made their epic space opera faster, then you're gonna lose money, because people are a little bit tired to watch too much of the same thing at once, and the company, you know, maybe try to sue, maybe make a scandal out of it or something like this, or somebody leaked some information, people saw the idea, got spoiled, and somebody else, they're not like, then they're gonna be a problem, not because they're afraid that somebody gonna steal the idea, it's mostly because they're gonna lose money, because people are gonna be less willing to now experience the story. So that's my spiel about it. You cannot steal ideas. You shouldn't be worried about people stealing your ideas. It's all fine. Just keep creating, make your story your own way, and it's gonna be just enough. So that's a short video for today, guys. I hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys.